All Blacks travelling squad to go to Australia. That's been named. There's not much in the way of changes, to be fair. It seems pretty steady as she goes. There's a couple of guys who won't be available at the start of the tour. Those guys are on parental leave. A few guys have been cleared for Mitre 10 Cup duties this weekend, and a few guys are out of the squad compared to that initial squad that was named. But let's have a quick look through the squad, and yeah, there's probably still a few guys who've been snubbed, but man, it's the All Blacks. It's always going to be that way. There's always going to be somebody who misses out. Hookers, you got Aumua, Coles, and Taylor, so no changes there. Pretty much steady as she goes. Now, if you were thinking if they were going to take a bigger squad, who's going to be the next cab off the rank? Maybe Ash Dixon, maybe Liam Coltman. But I guess with the Springboks dropping out of the Rugby Championship, and I think the fact that New South Wales does not require New Zealanders to go through quarantine, it means they can fly somebody out pretty much at a moment's notice. That may be a bit risky, given it only takes like 1 day for COVID stuff to change, but that is what it is. 3 hookers. Bauer comes in as one of the next props. So he is one of the additions to the squad, George Bauer. They've still got Hodgman, Laulala, Lomax, Moody. Moody is going through HIA protocols after getting knocked out by Ned Hannigan at the weekend. Who would have thought you'd be saying that sentence? But yep. So hopefully he's all good. Gets through his HIA all right. Tuinukuafe and Tuungafasi. Laulala, I've put an asterisk by his name because he is going to be on parental leave for that first game. So he will not be available for that first game against the Wallabies, which is maybe why they have called up Bauer to get that a little bit extra bit of coverage in the propping stocks. Locks, you've still got Tuipulotu, Vaa'i, Whitelock. I forgot these guys down here. Scott Barrett and Mitchell Dunshea. Dunshea is one of the guys who's been cleared for Mitre 10 Cup duties this weekend, which would either lead you to believe he's the last guy in the pecking order, or maybe they just think he needs a bit of match fitness. Probably a bit of both, you'd have to say. Whitelock and Tuipulotu plus Scott Barrett will probably be the 3 guys they pick from. Scott Barrett only had his first game back after a big injury layoff at the weekend as well. Vaa'i got a debut, so he's coming along nicely. Probably a bit overshadowed by Caleb Clark, to be fair. Nobody was talking about Tupou Vaa'i's debut, which is probably a good thing, given that how good Clark was. If you can go under the radar, it means you didn't really put a foot wrong. I haven't looked at his numbers or anything, but yeah, we'll see. Lucy's, you still got Sam Cane as captain, and in the last couple of games, he's impressed, that is for sure. Frizell, Grace, Akira, Ioane, Kirifi, Papalii, Savia, Sotutu. So there's a whole heap of loose forwards. As I mentioned, Cane is the captain. Savia is also the other guy who's come on to have parental leave, so he's not going to be available for that first game. Him and Laulala will fly out a week later. Akira, Ioane, and Cullen Grace are you guys who've been cleared for Mitre 10 Cup duties, which again would indicate perhaps a spot in the pecking order. And Kirifi is your guy who gets named up to come into the squad after being not named in the initial lineup. I'm just thinking Lachlan Boshier. I don't think he's injured. He played against Southland at the weekend, right? Come on. Lachlan Boshier, what's he done wrong? I'm pretty sure he's not injured. I double checked. I searched. Some people on Facebook were saying he's injured, but I couldn't find any news stories saying he's injured, and I checked a few sites, but if he's injured, let me know. Some people saying he's got a knee injury. I couldn't find any official news of it other than a bit of gossip on Facebook. So yeah, Lachlan Boshier, he must have done something. I don't know. But yeah, still plenty of Lucy's, man. Heaps of Lucy's, so we should be pretty well sorted in that area. Perenara, Smith, and Weber are still your starting 3 halfbacks. Again, it's Smith and Perenara plus Weber as kind of your extra man. Interestingly, they didn't give him a shot at playing Mitre 10 Cup. Thought he might have got a run, but Because, I mean, there's other guys we could call up if Brad Weber was not selected as well. I feel like we've got a fair bit of depth. I mean, obviously, you got your main 1-2 in Smith and Perenara, but there's heaps of other guys who could fill in as that third guy. So, interesting choice. Bodie and Mo'unga are your 10s, so there's no spot for Josh Ioane. You would think maybe in an extended squad he gets a run, but with D-Mac covering, that potentially is why he misses out in terms of not making the trip across the ditch. And yeah, especially with Bodie playing fullback, you might have thought there's a spot there for an extra fly half, an extra first 5, but not to be for young Josh. Goodhue, Rico Ioane, Laumape. Laumape people are going to be happy to see. He probably, I think he definitely wasn't fit for the first game in the Bledisloe, the draw, and he was probably going to be a bit rushed to come back for the second game. So, but I know a lot of people are big Laumape fans, so they'll be happy he's making the trip across the ditch. There's been a couple of times I've forgotten to mention his name in videos to say that he wasn't selected because he's injured, and people were wondering where he's at. So yes, Laumape definitely in the squad. ALB and Pete Umaga-Jensen are there as well. Umaga-Jensen had a knock of his own, but he's still at the weekend, and the second Bledisloe, but he's still been called up. And outside backs, you got Geordie Barrett, Caleb Clark. Caleb Clark, man, hell of a debut, honestly. It doesn't get much better than that one. Will Jordan still can't buy a first cap for the All Blacks. Damien McKenzie and Sevu Reece. Remember, Sevu Reece was also cleared along with Tyrel Lomax to play some Mitre 10 the same weekend we had Bledisloe too. So that also may be slightly indicative of where they are in the pecking order as well. I honestly think Will Jordan will definitely get some minutes against Argentina. He still hasn't got the nod for the All Blacks just yet, despite having a heck of a Super Rugby Aotearoa and just Super Rugby pre-lockdown time of it. But yeah, the guys who were initially named but have since pulled out, Strange, Enor, and Bridge, have all got injury layoffs. So that's why all those guys have not made it. I'm pretty sure Havili is still fit, right? He's not made it, which is maybe a bit of a tough one. I mentioned Josh Ioane. Mentioned Lachlan Boshier. There's probably others. Michaeli Tu'u, Jacobson, a bunch of the halfbacks. Yeah, there's other guys as well. But I think it's like 36 guys. So not a huge squad. But again, with the box pulling out, there's maybe not that need to take such a large squad in the first instance. But yeah. Still a few question marks. A couple of guys going on parental leave, as I mentioned. A few guys being hit up for Mitre 10 Cup duties, and a couple of guys going into this, like Laumape, like Moody, like Umaga-Jensen and whatnot, with something of an injury cloud. Scott Barrett just coming back from injury. But overall, it's a pretty good looking All Black squad, isn't it? So, yeah. We'll see how they go. Given that the attrition rate has already been relatively high, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few more guys kind of go down with injuries before the competition is done, and they may have to start thinking about who the replacements are. But Mitre 10 Cup continues, so there's still a chance for some guys to get some minutes there and essentially maybe put their hands up at least to get into the All Black squad. But yeah, we'll see. You guys let me know what you reckon about this All Blacks team. Anybody else apart from Lachlan Boshier that you might have liked to have seen in the squad? I mean, honestly, based on I did a video about Sam Cane and his numbers in Super Rugby Aotearoa, and Boshier's numbers were also bloody good. I think probably a bit better than Kirifi, but different players. And Kirifi's been captaining Wellington in the Mitre 10 Cup as well, so he's still a pretty high work rate player as well. So yeah, we'll see what the All Blacks can get out of him. He probably just a squad guy for the minute, but good for him to get that experience and yeah, learn from some of the best guys around. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. What do you reckon about this one? And yeah, I'll talk to you again soon. See you later, guys.